So this is sort of a weird match. Brock Lesnar vs Solo Sikoa as the 4th match of WrestleMania Night 1 for WrestleMania 40. I wanted both of these men to be on the card, so I tried to make a storyline that would make sense and it would connect things to other stories. So currently, Brock Lesnar is not wrestling right now. He wasn't at Crown Jewel. He's not going to be at Survivor Series. We don't know if he's going to be at the Rumble, but right now, he doesn't have a story going for him, and Solo Sikoa is still with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman and I guess Jim Uso. Right now, we are currently on the SmackDown after the Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes has just won the Elimination Chamber match and he is on his way to face Roman Reigns. This is sort of important, but not really. So now Roman Reigns isn't at SmackDown this week, but Cody is. Cody Rhodes is in the ring, and before he can get words out, Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman interrupts Cody Rhodes. Now the Cody point isn't too important as I said, so I'll go over it quickly. So Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman aren't too pleased with this year's Elimination Chamber winner, since Roman already beat him last year at WrestleMania. So at this point, Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa corner Cody Rhodes, but then Cody responds by saying, "Hold on, before you two enforce an attack on me, did you really think I came here alone?" Cody Rhodes points at the entrance ramp and Brock Lesnar theme song. Here comes Cowboy Brock Lesnar. He's looking a little extra jolly tonight for some reason. He makes his way down to the ring. He does his circle around the ring. He gives Cody a big old nice firm handshake, and this time it's for real. He's not gonna F5 him or anything. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are actually friends now. So like at this point, you already know Paul Heyman is seeing a ghost because Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are in the same ring together. Brock Lesnar is now standing right next to Cody Rhodes. Solo Sikoa doesn't really know what to do since this is the first time where he's like all alone in the arena. Jimmy's not there. Uso's not there, Roman's not there. He only has Paul, but there's nothing much that Paul can do, so he's kind of alone. So now Solo Sikoa decides to, for some reason, attack Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. He manages to take down Cody, but Brock Lesnar gives Solo Sikoa an F5. Ooh, he trying to start something. So, and then after that, Brock Lesnar picks up Cody Rhodes, and you know, Solo is now left laying on the floor while Paul Heyman is trying to call Roman Reigns. So basically, Brock Lesnar just started a fight with Solo Sikoa while also building up Roman vs Cody Rhodes, I guess maybe. So Solo is left laying. So last week we know Brock Lesnar returned on SmackDown. So next week he is back in SmackDown. So Brock Lesnar is right now in the ring. He has a microphone, he's ready to cut a promo. But ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. On behalf of my client Solo Sikoa, it appears to be that once again my former client Brock Lesnar has picked a fight with the bloodline once again. Now I'm sure that this ain't the first time, but let me tell you one thing. Solo Sikoa is the baddest son of a gun behind that locker room. Size and strength doesn't matter to that man. And while Paul Heyman is rambling about Solo Sikoa being the best, at this point Brock Lesnar doesn't want to hear Paul Heyman's, crap. So Brock Lesnar just runs out the ring. He chases Paul Heyman, gives him an F5 immediately. So, cause why not? I mean, why not? Like, what's the worst that could happen? So Brock Lesnar now grabs the mic. So while Paul Heyman is laying on the floor and Brock Lesnar still has the microphone, he tells Paul Heyman that, "Tell your boy Solo that I've got my sights set." And then Brock Lesnar goes backstage, and that's how the segment ends. So this is how the match would be set up. So I really want to limit the appearance of Roman Reigns in this storyline because I don't want to spoil too much from what's going to happen later with Roman, Cody, maybe The Rock. So yeah, anyways, we're 4 weeks away from WrestleMania. Now the SmackDown after Brock Lesnar attacked Paul Heyman. Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman come down to the ring together this time. Now Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa are standing side by side. Paul Heyman is smiling, knowing Brock Lesnar is not backstage at the arena because someone told him that, he's in Saskatchewan or whatever, or he's not in the building at least. So Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa are standing in the middle of the ring, just like how Paul and Brock used to do back in the day. Paul starts off by calling out Brock Lesnar, knowing damn well he ain't gonna confront them. He says, "Brock Lesnar, if you really have your sights set on the baddest Samoan in the world, you wouldn't mind bringing that farmer ass into the ring right here tonight in the middle of this ring to go face to face with Solo. Because see, last week I've made a mistake confronting you alone. See, this time, and then Paul Heyman gets cut off by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is on the Titantron. He's in Saskatchewan. He's on his farm. He's with his cows. So now Brock Lesnar has a live video message for Paul Heyman. You know, he's sitting down, he's having a good time. He reminds himself that the week prior to today, he gave Paul Heyman a beautiful F5. He tells Paul that I really wish that I could see you in person. That would be so great, real great. But unlike you running around with your little bodyguard, I've got things to do. But tell you what, Paul Heyman, I'll see you live next week on Friday Night SmackDown. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, will be in the ring ready to go face to face with Solo Sikoa. And then Brock's video message ends. Nothing too special, it just sets up a face to face for next week. At this point, Solo Sikoa has a frustrated look on his face, and he plans to beat Brock Lesnar up next week. Now the next SmackDown arrives, and Brock Lesnar actually kicks off the show with Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes talks about Roman stuff, you know, I'm not going to go over that too much. And Brock talks about Solo. He says that Solo isn't beat. He hasn't gotten beat up. He hasn't gotten humbled. He hasn't got into a proper fight. And especially that Solo is not a real fighter. He's not no street champ. He's not a street fighter. He's not any of that. What Solo is a nobody, a walk behinder, someone who is a follower. He doesn't take action into his own hands. He hides behind Roman. He does nothing on his own. And now it doesn't take too long for Solo Sikoa to be upset and march down to the ring with Paul Heyman. So once again, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are in the ring, and Solo Sikoa is launching one-on-two attack. So while Solo Sikoa is making his way down to the ring, Paul Heyman is in his corner looking scared. He tells Solo that we shouldn't be out here. We shouldn't be doing this. There's two of them. There's one of us. It's 100% chance they're gonna get hurt. But Solo doesn't care. He basically just does whatever he wants to now. Solo doesn't listen. He stares down Brock Lesnar when he gets in the ring and tries to get a revenge. Solo Sikoa goes for an attack, but it just doesn't work. He's not calculating his attacks. He's not making sure that everything that he does works. He doesn't know how to do this because he's always been under the leadership of Roman Reigns. So whenever he's out alone in the ring, his brain just fumbles. He doesn't know how to react. So Solo Sikoa tried to go for a Samoan spike, but it gets reversed by Brock Lesnar. Now Cody Rhodes takes Solo out, and while Solo is down, Cody has a detailed message for Roman Reigns. Then Brock Lesnar kneels down to Solo's face and says, "I'll meet you at WrestleMania." Brock Lesnar drops the mic on Solo's chest, and then both Brock and Cody leave. Now Brock Lesnar has left the ring, announcing that he will go one-on-one with Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania. The match is now made official. Brock Lesnar vs Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania Night 1. Paul Heyman tries to get Solo back up on his feet, then the look on Solo's face says it all. He wants to beat the living shit out of Brock Lesnar. And the next week on SmackDown, Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman come back down to the ring to verbally assault Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman gets the mic and he starts cooking Brock Lesnar. See, Paul Heyman states that, I might have not told you this, or I have, who knows, but why I left you for the bloodline is because you're washed up. You're a part-timer. Those are the only two reasons that I need. The only reason why you got a tiny little bit of success is not because you're a genetic freak, not because you're a UFC guy, not because you have an amateur wrestling background. It's because you were managed by the one and only Paul Heyman. And I know damn well you know that. It takes a lot of balls to admit that. You would assume without advocating for Brock Lesnar, I have nothing to do wrong. Because I have Solo Sikoa. I am advocating for Solo Sikoa week in and week out. This is the future of the industry. This is the guy that will slay the Beast Incarnate at WrestleMania. This is the guy that will beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And and this is damn well the guy that will retire Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So if you think it's gonna be another easy WrestleMania payday for you, you better goddamn pray to whatever you worship, because at WrestleMania, April 6th, night 1, your time is up, and it's time to hang up them boots. Because after you get your ass whooped by Solo Sikoa, let me tell you this, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Paul Heyman drops the mic after cooking Brock Lesnar. So then Paul Heyman and Solo try to leave the ring, but then they get interrupted by Brock Lesnar. His music starts playing, and then Paul Heyman, he tries to, he sees a ghost. And Solo Sikoa and Brock Lesnar, they go face to face. They're both in the ring. They stare at each other. Solo then tries to strike Brock Lesnar. Then Solo Sikoa then strikes at Brock Lesnar. He takes him down, and he catches Brock off guard. Paul Heyman is genuinely shocked that Solo managed to get Brock Lesnar on his knees. But then Brock Lesnar takes Solo Sikoa ringside, and he puts Solo Sikoa through the announce table. F5 right onto the announce table, and Paul Heyman is genuinely shocked. Brock Lesnar then looks at Paul Heyman. He tries to run at him because he's next. So then Paul Heyman just goes zooming out. He tries to run away and all of that. So then, while Solo Sikoa is laying on the floor on the broken announce table, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are backstage. So yeah, that's how this segment ends. Brock Lesnar trying to, I guess, assault Paul Heyman due to miscommunication, due to him not knowing what to do. So you guys can probably see what type of story that I'm building here if you guys understand. It's definitely going to be building more and more as we go on. For the next week, it's announced that Brock Lesnar has some things to tell to the audience. He starts off by saying that, I see Paulie hyping up Solo every single week, but I keep beating his ass. I mean, the kid never learns. That's why he still needs to go one-on-one with the Beast Incarnate. Because that's when you find out if you're ready. That's when you find out if you are a main event talent. You need to learn how to win and protect yourself. Look at me. By doing those things, I've made myself a living legend. And if Solo Sikoa can beat me under the brightest lights, maybe, just maybe, I'll gain his respect. But as of right now, hiding behind a man who's worthless really pains me. Someone with that amount of potential shouldn't even be guided by a man like Roman Reigns. Because I know you're way better than this. I know, I see it. But as of right now, there's nothing more I want to do than to leave you hanging. And after saying all that, Brock Lesnar calls Solo Sikoa out to the ring. And he comes out by himself. No Paul Heyman, no Roman, no, he's just by himself. But then Paul Heyman comes in from behind while Solo is making his entrance. But then Solo Sikoa demands Paul Heyman to go backstage. He wants to handle this on his own. So then Paul Heyman is kind of skeptical, but he follows Solo's orders. So Solo Sikoa and Brock Lesnar are now face to face once again. Brock Lesnar tells Solo that, I'm not here to attack you. I'm here to warn you. I'm here to tell you what you're going to have to deal with at WrestleMania. It takes a brave man to confront and go after a beast, and I respect that. So I'll give you your big moment. At WrestleMania, I want you to bring it. Brock Lesnar leaves the ring. So Solo doesn't know how to respond. So after Brock Lesnar leaves, Solo is in the ring. He's thinking to himself what do I do? I mean, it's almost like Solo Sikoa got humbled by Brock Lesnar. But believe it or not, there's one more week until WrestleMania, and I ain't booking that. So this promo happened second to last week before WrestleMania. So at this point, Solo Sikoa is there's something I need to do, but I don't know if I have the guts to do it. So we're gonna find that out at WrestleMania. So it's April 6th, it's WrestleMania, the 4th match of the night. Brock Lesnar makes his way into the ring. Obviously, it's light work for him. It's not his first time. He gets a big crowd reaction and all that. When it's time for Solo Sikoa to get in the ring, Paul Heyman introduces Solo. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And on this special occasion, I have the honor and privilege to introduce to you the baddest of them all, the Samoan street champ, the enforcer himself, the man that will slay the beast incarnate, Solo Sikoa. And then Solo Sikoa comes out to a star-making entrance to the ring. Brock Lesnar and Solo Sikoa go face to face one last time before the bell rings. And then the bell rings. These two give everything that they have. Solo is trying his best to keep up with Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar tries to catch Solo off guard by hitting a F5 early in the match. Solo manages to reverse it. And then after that, Solo Sikoa manages to do a Samoan drop on Brock Lesnar somehow. Now that stops all the momentum that Brock had. And now eventually Brock got up and he kept punishing Solo, and he punishes him until he would fight back. But then Brock Lesnar got up and he kept punishing and punishing Solo Sikoa. Now Brock Lesnar wouldn't pin him, but he would just keep destroying him, trying to humble him, trying to get him to do the right thing. Now late into the match, Solo Sikoa finally gets up and manages to land a Samoan spike on Brock Lesnar. At this point, it's been like around 15 minutes into the match. Now, after doing the spike, Solo has an option. Does he pin Brock, or does he hit one more spike? So late into the match, Solo Sikoa finally manages to land a Samoan spike on Brock Lesnar. Then he's knocked down. Now Solo Sikoa drags Brock Lesnar and he goes to the top to do a splash on Brock Lesnar. Now he knows that no one has ever kicked out of the Samoan spike, but Solo has an option. Does he pin Brock Lesnar, or does he do it one more time? He picks Brock Lesnar up one last time, but then he picks him up and he hits another spike, and then he picks him up and then he does a triple Samoan spike, and then Sikoa pins Brock Lesnar clean. Solo Sikoa becomes the 8th man in Brock Lesnar's career to ever pin him clean. He done made history. Paul Heyman comes in the ring to celebrate with Solo, but then Brock gets up after the match. He's hurt. All of these Samoan spikes, they were quick. They did a lot of damage to the chest of Brock Lesnar. Brock reaches his hand out to Solo, and no fucking way. Just like he did to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam of last year, Brock Lesnar wants Solo Sikoa's respect. And now Solo is not even hesitant. As soon as he sees Brock's hand, he shakes it with him. He takes it as a stamp of approval. So now Solo Sikoa shook hands with Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar raises Solo Sikoa's hand up. It would be insane if this would actually happen. So at the end, Brock Lesnar has made peace with Solo Sikoa, and Solo Sikoa has made peace with Brock Lesnar. There were a lot of elements in the story that I didn't touch on, and they were like revised and stuff mainly I didn't want to touch because it was very much related to the Roman vs. Cody video, and I don't want to be spoiled because I'm trying to make it like really good. So if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a like, comment down below, all that, click all the buttons and all that. The next video will be, actually I don't know, so yeah. Actually I don't know. So with that being said, peace out.